Why, hello there, everybody, and welcome to Hardcore Heroes. How are you guys doing today?
Feeling
I'm
pretty good?
excellent. I'm actually tired because I didn't go to sleep on time last night. I was like a little kid before Christmas. I was like, we'll play.
Yeah, I know what that's like.
Uh, I'm not living in that hellhole of a dorm anymore, so I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
Fantastic. As I was saying right before we went live, after the discussion last week about role-playing experience, some research was done, and we will indeed be awarding 200 experience to all the players retroactively. And if you have your prime
Malachi.
requisites, you get your
Yes.
extra 10%.
It's a good day. It's a good
Very
day.
good.
Neil, you didn't ask me what I've been doing.
What have you been doing, Nick?
Well, my girlfriend's got a new job in a different city. Like, I work in Manchester, I live in Liverpool.
hmm
But she's got a job in Manchester, so I've been looking at flats yesterday. And we found a new flat in Manchester, so we're moving out in a month.
Oh my!
That's good, yeah.
But you're moving to Manchester? Like, isn't
Manchester,
that
yeah.
kind of like a lesser people over there?
No, if you ask anyone in England, they'd say that Manchester's nicer than Liverpool, so...
Oh, here I thought I was just trying to side with you automatically.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, no,
yeah,
you're
fuck
right.
Manchester, but
I went to uni there, so I've always sort of...
so you've always been a traitor.
I suppose so. So...
All right.
Literally, the only thing I know about Manchester is they have a soccer team there. It's pretty good.
That's all everyone knows about Liverpool as well. I went to America and everyone's like, "Oh, where are you from?" Liverpool. Oh my God, you love soccer? No, not really. I don't really watch football that much. I think just because you're English and live in Liverpool, apparently you must love football.
Yeah.
Which is
Isn't that
actually
the way it works?
I think it's
That
like
is
a
mostly
birthright.
yeah. That's like 90% of people in this country love football.
Yeah.
All right, Neil, can we lower the?
Is
It's a little bit too loud, I think.
okay. Well, I've redone the volume organization for them to make it more even on my end. So why don't you can lower
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sounds
right.
in the gear?
Yes.
Yeah, because everything was getting all mixed up. So I've redone all the audio, added some new stuff, and we'll have some new battle music today. If you guys get into any more battles,
Yeah, let's hope
I
not.
kind of want to purge that entire spider population.
Yeah.
Well, our battles are from like 50 feet away, and we just all shoot bows at them. Like 100 feet away.
Mhm.
Well, I was thinking about talking to some people in town about getting some cure poison spells prepped for us.
I'm safe from poison for the next 7 days, so I'm all right.
This means Malachi is our spider tank, yes?
Yeah, that's
So Neil, can I roll some HP and spells and stuff?
You may roll your HP as you please.
Okay, here we go. 3, that'll do.
Ooh. What is that,
Well
like double
done.
your HP?
No, 7 to 10.
Okay.
Should I give myself all 3 to my current or just 2? I was on 4 out of 7, so should I go to 6 out of 10?
Yeah, just that's fine.
Yeah.
This actually means I need to update our overlays.
And the spells, right? Can I roll some spells? I'm just gonna try and get the same 3 that I failed last time
Sure.
because I didn't realize I was gonna get it. So, all right, invisibility. Yes. All right, ESP. Yeah. Alter self. No.
Okay.
okay. You have 7 consecutive all-nighters. You can pull to research that one.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, can you not do it until next level now?
I can't do that until next level, but you know, I might try and get some of the level 1 ones I'm missing, like armor.
Spell research is also expensive and requires libraries and time.
Also,
So-
would I have to roll to learn still, or do I automatically?
No, you still
learn it?
must roll to learn, but if you fail, you can keep researching and spending extra days or weeks researching and keep re-rolling up to a
Okay.
certain point, I think. So let's
What kind of
add.
expensive are you talking about? Like hundreds of gold, or
I think it's like it's either 100 or 1,000 gold per spell level. I don't remember exactly
Shit.
what.
Won't be doing that then.
What spells did you just learn? Invisibility?
And ESP.
Invisibility
Oh god, I get more spells per level now as well.
and
3 and 2.
ESP. Today's a good day to be Malachi.
It is, yeah, it's a significant power improvement.
All right, let's add these spells to your spell list. They are added.
Great. Neil, you've been generous this day.
Just this day. No further.
Oh yeah. somebody said in chat I get HP regen because of the potion.
Yes,
so
if
it's
you
been
do,
like,
1 point
been
for
like-
4 hours.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Potion
So
balance.
by the time you finish sleeping, which you don't
Yeah.
even need to do, yeah, it'll be good.
That's sweet.
Fantastic. Oh, and we also have Van Helsing character art.
And I think
Yes.
my
Oh yeah, that,
Baller character art.
yeah, that was.
yeah, that's so good. I think my Thaco improves as well.
Yes, it goes up by 1 or down by 1. Down by 1.
Down by 1. Yeah.
Neil, you have me at 22 max HP, right?
I have you at 22 max HP.
Okay. I accidentally erased that with my current, but yeah, I figured that was it.
Nice.
Saving throws not until level 5. Is that right?
I think that's correct.
I'll find the table. Just mute that. Table 60.
So, where are we? Who wants to? Well, why don't you guys all recap together?
Well, I think maybe Greg can recap the first half, and I'll recap the second half.
Yeah, sure.
Since,
What do you consider the first half and second half?
well, all of the stuff
You
with
just
Boris
want me to
and
talk about my plotting, don't you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I feel like
To be honest, I was playing Tetris for the first half of the show, so I don't remember.
bad man.
Look, I figured it was actually better that way because now
Yeah.
what Van doesn't know, I don't know.
Good talking.
All right. Well, last time on Hardcore Heroes, we found our plucky adventurers licking their wounds from a grievous encounter with a terrifying were-rat, and Croak decided that he needed to do some rather roguish and inspiring things. He talked Malachi into going with him to shake down and, before shaking down, just observing and gathering intel on a specific Borin. He attempted to get Van into this half-heartedly, knowing that it really wouldn't happen. And instead, we see a montage of Van in his shirtless mode getting measured up for his magnificent plate mail that will be coming in months and months to come. During the investigation process, Malachi and Croak managed to make friends with one Zinli, the dwarven, strong arm for Borin, and set up a meet after much stalking and strange part of Croak. At this meet, it was suggested that Croak would knock up a poor, innocent Akuban lady and steal all of her gems and whatnots and trinkets and give them to Borin for sale as proof of his thiefly goodness and perhaps as a token of good measure and of good faith. Unfortunately, Borin, very guarded, very difficult to get into his confidence, and kept Croak and Malachi at arm's length. So Croak decided to begin stalking even more and being even more creepy, and followed the two girls home to figure out where they lived, stalked the guards and tried to talk with them to figure out their rotations, spent many nights watching the doorway of Borin's place, and generally got as much info as he could in the creepiest manner possible. Oh, also of note, it seems that Croak and Zinli have entered into a somewhat physical relationship that Croak wished to exploit at the moment of most convenience. And that was the first half of the show, up until Van decided to stop playing Tetris and get a quest for the party to go on.
All right, do you want to do this bit, Van, or should I?
I think you should do it because I think I kind of want to see your perspective on everything.
Okay, so, I mean, bear in mind, I was struggling to sort of understand what everyone was saying, but I believe that we were asked by the same person that gave us the quest about the were-rat.
Yeah.
Yeah, to investigate missing people on the road towards Hillsborough. So once we could pry Croak away from his investigations, we set out on the road. We got from Redport to Clydesdale without much concern before traveling to Hillsborough. And we got about 90% of the way there, but the road converged through a sort of a mountain pass. Is that right, Neil?
Yes.
Or a hill pass at least?
Hill pass.
A valley through the hills. I think we all kind of got a bad feeling that if something was going to happen, it was going to be here. It was all very enclosed in and felt like we were being watched. And out of nowhere, without much time to react, we were set upon by 3 huge spiders that leapt on all three of us. I was bitten on the neck. Managed to cast sleep on the one that was attacking Greg, which freed him up to draw a torch and scare the other two away. Unfortunately, my bite got worse and worse. And fearing the worst, and Malachi knows a lot about giant spiders, after about 10 minutes of waiting for whatever was going to happen, he imbued his potion of vitality, which he got off the siren, which made him immune to poison and disease, and as a side effect for the next 7 days, means that I don't have to sleep to be fully rested, which I think means I can learn spells whenever I like.
That is correct.
We then continued the march into town to
Yeah,
try and save Van, because Van had been bit as well.
Yeah, I think I ran ahead of the party and just sprinted to town with like
But,
a giant spider head that I decapitated in my arm.
Oh yeah, but he was too resilient to fall to the spider's poison, and despite it affecting him, he was fine. And I think that's where we ended up, right in Hillsborough, having survived the road just about.
Yeah, I think Van's unconscious in the cathedral right now.
Oh,
One
okay.
of the one of the churches. He has 4 HP left, I think. Yeah.
Close.
And
Yeah.
I think that was it, right? I think that was most of what happened.
I think that's it. So, Malachi and Croak, why don't you each take 100 experience?
Oh wow, we should split the intro more often. Doubled up on experience. I thought it was going to be 50 each.
It probably should have been, but
it's too late now.
it's too late.
We were entertaining, okay?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys were great.
I have a bookkeeping question before we kind of begin. I realized during the 2 weeks we were off that I'm probably running a little bit low on time. How far away are we from the day I told the kids to meet me?
I don't think it's been 3 weeks.
No, but if we spend a week and a half trudging around the hills looking for some unknown set of wagons and that may have disappeared and may have been eaten by spiders or worse.
A week and 2 days. Currently, it is Tuesday, the 23rd of February. You've agreed to meet the children on the 2nd of March, which is a Wednesday.
It's not too bad.
2 days.
Yeah.
We did like the whole spider encounter was only a couple hours outside of town, so it shouldn't
Yeah.
take too long to investigate here, and it was about 5 days to get back.
Well, let me put it this way, in character. I don't believe that some spiders are the reason caravans are going missing. You know,
Well, maybe we're
We
discussing
would,
in the
we
end
wouldn't
that-
expect them to be ambushing them. I fear it's probably much worse. I have no idea what, but we heard talk of basilisks and giants and hobgoblins and other such nonsense out here. I am much more concerned that this might be a fight a little bit more than some spiders.
I agree with you, Croak. I think if it'd been some random monster that had attacked these people, we'd have found their caravan on the road, abandoned.
Well, if it had been the spiders, I think we would have found it for sure, because the
Yeah.
spiders sure as hell ain't dragging it off anywhere.
So it must be an ogre, or what other monsters did you say exist in these hills? Bandits?
Is it ogre? I thought it was giant, which is what's
Giant.
much more scary in my mind.
Yeah.
Giants,
A giant.
ogres, orcs, hobgoblins, basilisks, rocks, many
Thank
things.
you, random priest. All of those things are
Um,
very scary.
So I'll assume that I'm in the tavern for this conversation then. So I think when Van's leaving the cathedral that he got helped at, he leaves 10 gold in the donation tray. Because like he almost died from that poison. I think he kind of sees them as having saved his life.
Are you still 1 HP, though?
4.
4, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, Van, it's good to see you. Did you make it back in time?
Van's like super pale. He's got like droopy bagged eyes. He's just like, I need a drink for this.
Oh, well, I guess that poison wasn't fatal after all.
Very nearly. I imagine without the aid of the church, I may have fallen.
Probably best I drank that potion then.
Sorry.
No, go on.
Neil, could I have gotten aid during the night we spent there from a healer or from the temple to try to regain some HP?
In Hillsborough?
Well, in Clydesdale, right? Because that's where we ran back to.
No,
No,
you
no,
ran
we ran
No, we
forward.
left in Hillsborough.
Yeah.
We were only a couple hours out.
So we left. I don't think so.
No,
we
no.
left Clydesdale for a couple of hours, got ambushed by spiders, and then sprinted to Hillsborough.
No, you
No,
left
we
Clydesdale
were-
for a couple of days.
yeah.
You were a few hours out from Clydesdale during
Okay.
the ambush.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, in Hillsborough.
Yeah. I think we're still that same day. I don't think you guys
Yeah,
have
I think
slept
we're
yet.
still that
I think
Okay.
we're coming in like an hour after the rest of you guys arrive in town,
Okay,
and
yeah,
eventually you guys meet up somewhere.
I didn't realize. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe I say, do you know, I feel great. I feel healthy. I don't feel tired. I don't even really feel like I need to eat. I never felt like this before. I wonder how long this is going to last.
Van just kind of looks at you, goes, "We're all so proud of you." And just takes a long drink.
So I guess I'm like drinking loads of alcohol but not getting drunk. Because
Yeah,
I'm immune
totally.
to poison.
Yep.
Oh, look at this. And I'm like necking like shots of whatever liquor they've got there.
You start a drinking contest with somebody.
It has like no effect on you. That you don't even get. There's no intoxication whatsoever. You're as sober as if you were drinking water.
Yeah, he has the Legolas scene from Lord of the Rings. I feel a tingling in my fingers. I think it's beginning to affect me.
Yeah, so I think maybe I'm hamming it up a bit in the bar. Because we know that I almost died, but I think Malachi kind of feels like he probably would have been alright. Anyway, you know, like, taking the potion, because he doesn't know that he was going to die, right?
Right.
So I'm feeling pretty happy with everything right now. I'm pleased about the potion, and I'm trying to encourage everyone else to have a good time. But I guess Van is
Oh my
kind of down in the
goodness.
dumps.
So can Croak like organize betting drinking contests around Malachi? Can I like enter him into contests like 5 gold to any man that wants to try to outdrink my wizard friend?
I'm
What
just
a
humble
dwarf
man.
immediately steps up to that and goes, 5 gold?
5 gold.
Bah! Might as well hand it over now, son.
I don't know. This man's got a liver like iron.
Look at him. He's got to weigh 10 pounds if he weighs anything at all.
It isn't about weight, dwarf. It's
Well,
about
let's
height.
see you put your coin where your mouth is. We need some shots, bartender.
Neil, before they inevitably start a bar fight, Van walks off into the corner and casts his last Cure Light Wounds on himself.
Heal your HP.
All right, so I'm up
Ooh.
to 12.
I say, 5 gold. Look at the size of this guy. It's not even worth my time.
Them's fighting words, son.
Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Let's call it 20.
Why don't we call it 50?
All right, fine.
He gets a smug, satisfied look and nods his head. His other dwarven buddies come over and clap him on the shoulder.
I look at the other dwarves like, any of you want in on this? You think you can outdrink my man?
Are you kidding? Look
I'll
at him!
leave him.
Look
What do
at
you
him!
say?
Let's
Van
call it
starts
100
reviewing-
and I'll drink you all under the table.
Oh my god.
Before
Van
we
starts-
make this bet, let me see your money. I ain't getting swindled by no poor folk.
I pull out 10 platinum coins,
Boom.
and I just show them off. I like run them through my fingers like gamblers.
One of the dwarves comes to like take one out and examine it. Do you let him?
No, I put them away. I'll hand him. I'll pull out like a gold coin and say, you can examine this.
You gonna bet with that platinum there? I want to make sure it ain't silver.
Fine, I will hand him one, but I will watch him like a hawk.
He takes it. He smells it. He licks the coin. He kind of bites it a little bit, turns it over, kind of like with you nearby, goes over and looks at it in the light, and comes back and hands it over to you with a suspicious look and a nod. All right. He looks back to the other guys and shakes his head. That's not them. All right, we'll take you on. 100 gold
Right.
coins. He ruffles around in a pouch and pulls out a bunch of small, very small emeralds and
All
puts them on the table in front of him.
Bartender, your choice.
At this point, the party of 6 dwarves has gathered around this table, and many other patrons have come around too, hearing 100 gold on the table for each side. So 200 gold on a drinking game. Outlandish, never heard of before.
Van starts reviewing his spell list for the inevitable fight that's going to break out.
I am going to feign being drunk a little bit. Right, I don't want to just be completely and utterly sober because they're just going to assume that there's some magic involved. So I'm going to feign getting drunker and drunker, but not falling under the table.
All
Of
right.
course.
So the first set of drinks come out, and there's no point in rolling anything because you just can't get intoxicated, you cheating bastard.
Yep.
So instead, I want you to give me a charisma check.
I like
And you know,
this.
I'm going to give you a charisma check at a +5 to it.
Is that
Okay.
a -5 technically? Because he
Oh,
wants.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like a +5 to
Oh,
his
to what he can
charisma
roll.
score. Yeah. Perfect.
Well,
Beautiful.
It's a
Nailed
pass.
Yeah. All right. So you act with ease, drunkenness. It's not too hard when people are expecting you to be kind of drunk.
Yeah, I'm that drunk as well, right? So
Oh yeah. Well, the one guy is definitely drunk. The others have been casually drinking, but they're not intoxicated. You know, it's only 8 p.m. You know, it's early for them.
So as he starts to get drunker and drunker, I'll start to throw some insults at him, and you call yourself a dwarf? Things
Ugh.
of that nature.
Wizards and their stupid spells. An axe and a pick is what makes a man, not a book and a quill.
Yeah, there is no spells here, dwarf. Did you see me
does
cast
he-
spells?
Yeah, wait. Does he know he's a wizard? Like Malachi
think
doesn't wear
Rex-
wizard
I
robe.
think
I call
Croak.
him a wizard.
Yeah, Croak referred to him as a wizard. The drinking continues. The dwarf gets steadily more and more drunk until he's just kind of bobbing his head on the table in front of everyone. He refuses to give up. Eventually, he will fall unconscious.
Yeah.
But
throws
after
up on
that
the
amount
table
of
and
poison,
collapses.
we got to make some saving throws for him, though.
Yeah.
Guys.
I mean, you're shaming him in front of his whole family here.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And I'm
He-
gonna take his gold.
Yeah.
Of course you want to take his gold. Take all of his gold.
Yeah. I've only got 84 gold, so this is a pretty big win for me.
11.
Now we
Dwarves,
should be able to afford horses.
Yeah.
dwarves get a +1 to their poison save for every 3.5 points of con, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Every 3 or every 3.5. Yeah.
So 11 con is 7. That's a +3 to his poison save. So he rolled a 15 total, and his poison save as a 0th level is 16. Okay.
No chance.
So
Is it
this
like he
dwarf
poison saves
passes
or
out
dies?
complete. No, oh, yeah, I think this guy has some level of alcohol poisoning here.
Mhm.
But for all you guys see right now, is that he passes out on the table eventually.
Okay.
There's resounding cheers around the bar and boos from the other side. The
3 cheers for Malachi Iron Liver.
So does Van see this guy like unconscious and like vomiting and kind of showing signs of like severe alcohol poisoning?
his breathing's really slow. His face is kind of pale. No vomiting yet.
Okay, Van casts aid on him to give him temporary HP.
Oh, there we go.
Hoping
Leave
that
him, Van. He'll sleep it off.
Okay.
I scooped 100 gold off the table and then throw 5 back at the other 5 dwarves. Hey,
I
buy
kinda-
yourselves a drink.
Well,
Let's see.
it's gems, right? You
It's-
put
It's
little
gems.
emeralds on the table.
Yeah.
Okay, so I throw them 5 gold then and take the emeralds.
and says, "Without aid, this man could die. He is." I kind of like look at all the empty like mugs on the table and just say, "He has consumed ungodly levels of alcohol."
Ah, what do you know about it? Stupid human. Little alcohol never hurt anybody.
Little alcohol hurt plenty of people, and I cast.
Name one.
Your
This guy
friend?
here.
It'll be fine.
I kind of
No.
like check his pulse and his breathing, and I say, "Well, I'll give him a better chance," and I give him 5 temporary hit points.
Okay.
How many emeralds is it, Neil? 5?
It is 10 small emeralds worth
At
10
10 gold
GP
each.
Yeah. The dwarves pull their fellow away. Malachi gets all sorts of claps from people all around him on the back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And everyone eventually settles down back to their whatever they were doing before.
Yeah. Well, it was the easiest 100 gold I ever made.
We need to go to another town and do this again.
I'm here every
Let
night
the
this
legend
week.
of Malachi travel far and wide.
I should probably be careful before we leave town again. I'd rather not have another encounter with those spiders unprepared.
I agree.
So
Although
actually,
I
Neil,
think- Sorry, go on.
I did carry one of the spider heads with me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I literally chopped its head off from
Right.
town. I guess it is pretty late now, but I asked around about there being an alchemist in town, and I asked if he had a sample of the spider's venom, which I assume its poison glands would be in its head.
Right.
Like it actually have some venom in its head. So I ask her. I want to ask around like, is there an alchemist in town? Because I want to go to an alchemist and ask if he could prepare some sort of antidote if he had a sample of the venom.
Yes, there is an apothecary in town.
Okay.
Nice. Van, you're always thinking of the good things. You're a smart man, Van. Smarter than I give you credit for.
I do what I can. And so I assume that he's not around this late at night. I'd have to wait until tomorrow.
Yeah, shops are usually closed at this point.
Okay. So then Van just reserves a room and gets ready to sleep for the night.
Okay. I do want to make a note, as long as we're on the topic, I guess we're a little far away from it, from meeting up with your kids again, Croak, that it is
Yeah.
a 5-day journey back to Redport.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to leave now.
You have about 9 days, don't you?
Because we're going into Wednesday the 24th, and you're supposed to meet the kids on Wednesday the 2nd, so like a week from today.
Okay.
So we've got 2 days.
Then, okay.
We can at least spend tomorrow investigating.
Yeah.
We could spend tomorrow investigating, but I think this is my fear, that this may be more than just the three of us can chew off all at once without a lot of time to prepare. Perhaps we could let me do about my business in Redport. We could ask around, get a few spears to help us out, and come back.
Well, Croak, it's a 5-day journey. We did travel all the way here and nearly died for our trouble. I think within 2 days, with it only being a couple hours out of town, we should be able to do some investigation.
We can do
No.
some investigation. I fear that it will just result in us finding things that we can't quite deal with. But
Perhaps,
hopefully your
but-
optimism proves well. I'm here. Let's investigate.
Van
I guess
pulls up
it-
a ledger and kind of sort of flips to a page where he had some notes taken. He mentions, when I asked people about the disappearances, many of them mentioned that while their goods were missing, there was no sign of a combat, no blood available. That would explain spider poison. Would explain it. They were bitten by spiders. The spiders were treated after a moment, and then shortly after, whoever was traveling died to the poison.
I've never seen a spider take gold.
It's possible their goods were looted shortly afterwards.
I like pull my shirt down and show what I imagine is like a huge welt on my neck.
I mean, we all have them.
Yeah.
Say, Van, don't you think that somebody might have noticed these on the bodies if that's what happened?
Nobody found the bodies. The bodies had disappeared.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. There was no sign of fighting, but there were no bodies either, which makes me suspect spiders. They could have poisoned them, waited for them to die, dragged them off to some cavern.
I hope you're right, because spiders would be one of the more benign potential threats out there.
Yes, if I have no intention of fighting a giant. If we encounter anything of that scope, we should
Now,
make
Van,
a
I didn't
tactical retreat.
speak to the sheriff myself, but didn't he just want us to find the reason for these disappearances?
I believe
wanted
he'd
to-
pay more if we took care of it.
No, that's
He
that's
said
probably
the
right.
payment, said the payment was flexible.
Yeah, the
We're
payment
on-
was flexible. He wanted to know why, and then he would pay us more if we could solve it.
How does a group of 3 men destroy all the spiders in a range of miles?
Well,
Fire.
fire is one. I want to speak to the apothecary in town to have antidotes made for the venom.
Perhaps creating a supply of antidotes to give to travelers would be a more appropriate solution, achievable solution. If we could organize the manufacture and supplement the cost.
That is possible. If I could have an apothecary make a sample of that antidote, we could bring it to the Lord of Hillsborough, who oversees this town. the city.
You can ask a person in the tavern if you'd like.
Yeah, I asked someone.
It is. Actually, don't have anything written down for Hillsborough yet. Where's my notepad? Here we go. It is Baron Wiley. Baron Wiley.
Perhaps if we can run this past the Baron, and he okays it, we could bring the antidote recipe back to Redport, and make sure that all travelers heading towards Hillsborough were given an antidote.
That could be done.
Seems to me to be a more achievable goal than
Yes, I think we
chasing
should.
out every spider.
Yes, we should at least investigate a bit. See if we can. If there's any other clear threat on the roads, we should make sure that is known as well. But we can check to see if. Check
Okay,
to see if we only find the spiders.
right.
I don't think we
What-
can clear them out. You have a good point.
Why don't we speak to this alchemist tomorrow morning, and then we'll head out after that, search the hills, return in the evening, and make way back to Redport on the next day with hopefully good news.
Yes, I would beg an audience with Baron Wiley before we go. Tell
Yep.
him about the situation on the road. Ask him to spread the word around town.
That sounds like a job for yourself.
Of course. And yeah, I think Van just gets a room and goes to sleep.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to sleep now.
All right, what are you going to do instead?
I guess I'm going to learn Forget.
Okay, because you are still working on that.
Does he learn spells faster now since he can study like 24 hours a day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up
does
till
8
now,
hours
it's been
count? Okay.
up till now it's been 8 hours per day studying a spell. But if you want to sit and just keep studying 24 hours a day because you are permanently rested or temporarily permanently rested, you can, to the exclusion of all other things, study.
Well, I'll win the drinking contest and then go up to the room, and I'll study all that night, so I suppose that's a day. Right, that's 8 hours.
Yeah.
And then I'll get another 8 hours in like I usually would during the day as well, but that'll be later.
Okay.
So just get 1 day in now.
I'd like to find a proficient healer or somebody to like tend to my wounds.
There, you can find a surgeon who will come and stitch you up and look at your wounds and patch you up. It's a gold per day of service from him.
Yeah.
Since you guys were in combat yesterday, you don't get natural healing
No.
So he
tonight.
gets the one from the surgeon, and then is it just you get 1 extra HP every day if you have
Every night that so you would get your 1 HP the next night. Well, how do we say? We started on Tuesday evening coming into town. So if you see a surgeon, a doctor who will come, a trained healer, you will gain your HP Wednesday night on the 24th.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a thing that needs to happen because I don't have very much to begin with.
Yep.
I need to go into every fight at full.
Okay. Anything else we need to do before we roll into Wednesday?
I don't think so.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to send you some spells for the next day.
Fantastic. Wednesday it is.
All right, well, I guess I finished doing my 8 hours study and head downstairs to continue reading in the breakfast room and wait for everyone else to wake up.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there, got my pipe, got my leg crossed over on the book. I'm just sort of flicking through it, smoking, waiting for everyone to trickle down.
All right. You got eventually the party gathers. You're all in this common room of the inn. You hear people all around you chatting about various events. A couple of things catch your ears, though.
Oh,
Van pulls out the ledger.
The first thing that catches your ear is someone's talking about Anvil. And you guys overhear this rumor of Anvil having fallen to the bastards of the Firewood.
oh fuck.
Yeah, it seems that Baroness Adina Largewise has been killed, and the heads of House Threshin have been burned alive in their own keep.
Sounds
Looks
like we got out of there at just the right time.
Shit.
Other local lords, seemingly tired of resisting the bastards for so long, have surrendered. Hostages have been taken, and
You keep saying the bastards, like the bastards of the Firewood. We've not heard of them before.
you might have heard a rumor of them before, but Croak might have forgotten.
Okay.
I remember.
No,
I remember.
We were told about them in town at one point. I remember somebody mentioned that it was like a big issue that Anvil faced.
No, but that might have been in the one shot, Sean.
No, we heard about that later, but I do remember
Okay,
when we were in
yeah.
Anvil, somebody mentioned that
It-
they were
I really don't think so, but sounds good. I'm forgetful.
they're like a prominent issue, or they were a prominent issue for the town, right, Neil? So I'm pretty sure we found out what was going on in Anvil.
I think what it was is when we got to Anvil, we said something about the forest being dangerous because of the spiders, and they were like, "Oh, it's not the spiders you need to worry about.
Oh yeah.
It's the bastards of the firewood."
Oh, it was just bandits. That's what
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Reggie might have had some sort of
Yeah.
connect. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure we heard something about them.
But we don't know what we know about their leader.
Yeah,
right.
no.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the one shot.
The Anvil is in Flat County, and the county seat is Fortune, a town pretty far away. There's come no word from Fortune if they're going to be mounting some sort of offensive against it, and everyone's just kind of wondering what's going to happen now that these bandits have literally conquered a major town and the surrounding villages, and killed multiple nobles.
Book, stay far away from Anvil.
Yeah.
We need to remember that.
Let's see. Last night during the drinking, you guys also heard a rumor that there's this family over in Thornwood called the Red Shield family, and they have been stripped of their lands and titles. There is a 100 GP reward, 10,000 GP reward for bringing in their matriarch, who has vanished and escaped, but she is rumored to be a witch of great strength and power.
We have timelines. All right.
And the other thing you hear people talking about is this wagon load of taxes that was going from Hillsborough to Clydesdale that had been sacked along the road.
So we didn't hear that before, so it's taxes. So I think as we hear that rumor, a hush falls over the group, and I look towards Croak. And then we both look towards Van.
I never knew a spider that collected taxes.
Yeah, but suddenly I'm thinking, dollar signs in the eyes, right? We collect all the taxes, whereas Van wants to probably give them back to the town.
Apparently, the cart was carrying hundreds of platinum along with other wealth, being the yearly taxes that Hillsborough is supposed to pay to Clydesdale, because Clydesdale's the county seat, Hillsborough is just a barony. And apparently there's a knighthood in it for whoever can retrieve the taxes, as well as a substantial monetary reward for his or her men.
Well, clearly I need to be knighted.
I'm not sure any of us really suits the knighthood.
Maybe.
Oh, but think of all the doors that would be open to me.
Wait, would it be common for a cleric to ever be knighted, or would that?
It would not be common, but it is possible.
Okay.
You're the face of the party. Like, I don't think we have a leader, but you're the very clear face. So they would knight you. They'd be like, Sir Van Clerickson.
I mean, you could also try to shove hundreds of platinum down your pants and just hope Van doesn't notice.
Well, I mean, if it's hundreds of platinum, we could take half of it and be like, I don't know what happened to the other half. It must have been some hobgoblins. Oh.
Well, it seems that Croak, maybe this mission here is more important than we had first thought. You never did say what it was that you what this business is in Redport that you have.
You're quite aware of it, Mr. Malachi. You're a part of it.
I guess I look over to Van and look back to Croak and say, right, I see. Yes. Well, let's see what we can find, but I suggest that we keep at this. It seems to be a great reward.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Van, shall we go and speak to this alchemist?
Yes.
You can bring your dismembered spider head.
Yeah, this is starting to somewhat rot spider head.
Yeah.
It's only been a day. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Spiders don't rot either. They dry up, don't they?
They do.
I'm sure all the alcohol in the tavern is probably just making it totally sterile, anyways.
Croak, would you care to join us?
At the Alchemists?
Yeah.
No, I think I'll pass. I'm gonna go investigate the prices on a horse that could carry my hefty girth.
Oh yeah, should we actually mention that to the people on the or to the viewers, since that's a bit of a change for us?
What's that?
What are we mentioning?
Neil sent us that message about being armed in towns.
Oh,
I'm not worried about it.
It only really affects you're the only one who's in heavy armor, and
Yeah, I
you're
think
a cleric, so you can probably get away with it.
Yeah, I think the thing is, if I'm gonna have a backup armor, because I probably wouldn't wear plate in town then, so I probably want to carry the chainmail still. At which
I
point,
mean, either way, if you walk around in full plate or you walk around in chainmail, you're gonna be heavily armed. I
Yeah.
wouldn't worry about it, right? It's gonna be up to the proprietor of the establishment to determine whether or not they're gonna be suspicious, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine that very nice places eye you differently than has been recently, but most places are gonna eye us mostly the same.
Yeah.
We're a wandering band of people that are mostly in like normal clothes and have a sword on our back. So we're armed, but we're not really suspicious. And you're a cleric, so you're probably allowed to get away with a little more.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is it a little bit different if a cleric is wearing like pretty heavy gear? Because he's kind of a
Plus,
sort of higher.
I think they might just assume you're a paladin.
That,
If a man of God walking around plate wanders from town to town, like there's a real chance that it's just going to be Paladin Van if you don't correct them.
Possibly. Maybe not quite paladin because they are.
but holy warrior.
They'll probably see holy warrior, crusader, man of God in armor. But
I mean,
there are so few paladins that they're all known by name and reputation. I wish I had a list of the paladins wandering this land for you. That's something maybe we can have ready for next time. But
Would you say that
you guys
there
are
probably
right
isn't a
about
paladin
the
of chess?
higher social status that you get. Like nobles could walk around in plate armor, and no one would really give a fuck. And if you can make sure that you are like displayed as a cleric of Cheese, people will see what's going on, and
Yeah.
I mean,
you'll
your plate
probably
armor is going to
fine.
be stylized with
Yeah.
cheese.
That's what I mentioned. I also wanted to get like the cloak to over it too.
And
With like the emblem. Yeah, it'd be pretty hard not to see it as
see
like
that.
holy
Yeah.
plate.
So you guys will be, you should be able to do that without problem.
Okay.
For the viewers, what they're talking about is we had on stream recently written up some kind of guidelines for how people react to other people in armor. And so if you're in weapon armed or armored, so if you're lightly armed, like you have a dagger or you have a walking stick or something like that, no one really cares. If you're mediumly armed or just armed, maybe you've got like a leather armor on, or you've got a short sword at your side, or you've got like a club or some sort of weapon that's like a war weapon, but you're not like armed to the teeth. People are a little bit suspicious of you, but you can kind of go about your business without too much trouble. If you walk around in heavy armor or have a lot of weapons or have like a two-handed sword and you look like you're looking for a fight, sort of heavily armed, you'll find a lot of doors are closed to you and a lot of people are unwilling to talk to you and will just treat you with more suspicion and concern. Now that can be to your advantage or to your detriment depending on what you're doing, but I'm just trying to fold in your character's appearance to how people react to you a little more.
I guess I'm already used to people reacting to me weird.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yes.
I think it makes sense though, because like armor's uncomfortable to wear. So I'd imagine you probably don't just wear it on a daily basis around towns.
Okay. Well, are you wearing it at breakfast this morning?
I kind of actually mentioned in one of Van's descriptions that he wears armor because he kind of looks effeminate, and he thinks that the armor kind of gives him that more imposing sort of man of power look, man of authority.
Okay. So maybe that Malachi's aware that you're doing that and chuckles silently to himself about it sometimes. But so Van, shall we head to this alchemist?
Yes, let's go.
Let's go. It's been a long night. I could do with the stretching my legs.
Okay, you guys find yourself at this apothecary shop somewhere in the middle of Hillsborough, which is, by the way, a walled city on the coast, also next to a bunch of mountains.
Okay.
Anywho, you enter the apothecary shop.
What does he look like?
The proprietor is a man dressed in long gray robes that kind of drag along the floor. He's much, much older, probably 70 or 80, has a bit of a hunch in him as he walks around. A long gray beard comes about to the bottom of his sternum. Unkempt hair kind of follows down along. It looks like he's not washed or cut or trimmed his hair in maybe a decade.
Okay. So I turn my nose up a little bit and then try and hide it. And I say, hello there, my learned friend.
Welcome, welcome. What can I do you for?
Well, I
And
come with
gonna-
an interesting proposal. And I motion to Van to shove the spider head on the...
Yeah. So I kind of put this
Desk.
giant rotting spider head on the table and I say, "This is the head of a poisonous spider. Its poison is not necessarily deadly, but can be. It's possible one can survive it, but it could also very easily kill a man."
How would you like to do a service to your town and to the people of the barony and the county?
These spiders have been attacking travelers along the roads. We're looking to get a recipe for its antidote. Also, if you could produce us a couple doses of that antidote, we would be appreciative.
That would be totally sweet.
These spiders are common. well known to all.
Then it should be a simple task for one such as yourself.
Would the antidote already be known then?
Antidotes for spider poison are difficult to make. They can be done, but they are time-consuming, labor-intensive.
What is the required ingredient that makes it such a slow process?
It is not the matter of ingredients, but carefully mixing them and heating and cooling and letting them steep amongst each other.
You do not require the venom of the spiders to create the antivenom.
I do, young one, I do.
Do you need it in the potion, or is it simply something you need to know to produce it?
It is a material component.
Do you
Yes, I do.
spider create one potion or 10 or 20?
One spider?
Yes.
How about you extract some of the? Could you at least extract some of the venom? Not necessarily make the potion, but make a rough estimate of how many doses of the potion you can make from that head that we've brought.
I could, and I would like to create this antidote for you. It's a tricky thing. I have many apprentices who need practice working on these things. It is, as I said, labor-intensive and time-consuming. These things do not come cheap.
Right. For now, could you simply remove some of the venom and tell us a rough estimate of how much that would be able to make?
He looks at the spider's head, turns it over, kind of squats down behind his counter and fusses with some things for a little bit. Comes back with a kind of leather fabric that's been folded over on itself and unwraps it. There's a bunch of scalpels and medical tools. He takes a few of them and starts poking around on the bottom side of the spider, kind of making a cut underneath where its mouth would be, and then digging into its head a little bit. Eventually he comes across this kind of large purplish organ sacky thingy in the head and points at it with a knife, but without touching it, and says, It seems this spider has already bitten someone.
That would probably have been me.
Yes. Some of its venom has been injected already. You seem to have survived well enough, he says, kind of
Very narrowly.
looking at you from side to side.
I kind of gesture to my symbol and say, I have means to recover quickly, but it very nearly took my life.
The gods took mercy on his soul.
Well then, I suppose, if all goes well, I could produce 3 antivenoms. I'll have you know, the term antivenom is a bit of a misnomer. No non-magical potion exists that will guarantee a poison does not take root. These antivenoms will simply help your natural immune system fight off the nastiness.
Would you imbue the antivenom prior to the spider attack or once you had been bitten?
Before would be better,
Hmm.
but I doubt one knows exactly when they'll be bit. It should be drunk as soon as you can.
Do you know how long this would remain in one's system? How long it would offer protection?
The venom took a little over 10 minutes.
If we were to imbue the antivenom on the way out of town and adventured for hours and hours, would
It
it offer
metabolizes quickly. Maybe a half an hour, and then you will probably have a very strong urge to urinate, and it will come out as a fire.
Well, and how much would you charge for this service?
Well, I do have apprentices to train, so why don't we call it 50 gold per antidote produced successfully?
Do you take me for a fool, old man?
I take you for a man who's desperate not to be eaten by spiders. a well-moneyed man. Look at you.
I doubt
With your
this potion
fancy
would save me.
robes, your nose held high in the air. You come in here acting like you know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't know the half of it.
I believe that's what people say to you daily.
Well, 50 gold. Fun. Well, let's, look, how about, 30?
Is your life really worth so little?
You see, now, my original proposal here was these spiders have been causing trouble on the road for many travelers. Perhaps if the Baron were to bring you more business to create more of these antidotes, you could make a great fortune. Now, I would be more inclined to send that business your way, if you'd done me a favor.
You don't think the Baron knows these things can be done? Antidotes are rare but common knowledge. It's not the
I don't.
poison that kills most people. It's the spiders.
And you would know, would you? Head out onto the road often? And trapped behind this door all day, for years and years on end. What would you know of the world?
And you still wish to do business with me, even with this disdain in your voice? Young man, the antidotes are mine to make. You can leave at any time.
All right, well, he's put me in my place a little bit. I'll stay quiet. How about you? We offered to buy 2 from you for 100 gold, and if you can make 3, then 3 for 100 seems like a good deal, does it not?
Do you take me for a sandwich shop?
Yes. Can I have one? Do you sell sandwiches?
Tell you what, could you extract the venom and keep it in a container for now? We have a friend who is able to spend money a bit more liberally. We can ask him his thoughts on this purchase.
Here, for the extraction, and I'll give him 5 gold.
He nods and in both hands takes the spider head and kind of gingerly sets it down behind the counter. You can even hear his knees creaking as he stands back up, and he kind of has his hand on his hips as he does it. Ugh. Thank you for your patronage, my lords, he says with a half-hearted, sarcastic bow.
Shall we return in the evening?
Perhaps we could return earlier. For now, we should find our companion.
Very well. Good day to you, old man.
Yes. He turns and starts shuffling towards a back door and starts calling, Jenna! Jenna! Get your gloves ready, little girl.
Do you know, Van, I whisper as we're walking up, I really don't like the cut of his jib.
I kind of, once we get out the door, I say, I know what you mean. People like him remind me that I desperately need to find the fountain of eternal youth.
Yes. It seems that all old men grow bitter and twisted.
Perhaps people were never meant to live that long.
It's the symptoms of a life wasted, with no adventure.
Perhaps you're right. Well,
Horse quality.
you can't be an adventurer if you hang out in the town all day. We should go find Croak and get things underway.
Very well. I feel so alive today.
And sheds a tear when he realizes that he rhymed and remembers Corny.
These are what I want. These are like kicks, spiders. I just want.
So yeah, we head off in search of Croak.
Yeah, I think you find Croak.
Croak's in the stables, bewildered by this large manual that says both Dungeon Master and Monstrous Manual. It's very confusing to him. He can't read and is incapable of finding the Warhorse entry. And despite people trying to help him, he's just like shooing them off in an agitated manner.
It's in the player's handbook, isn't it?
Page 90, Chapter 6, Money and Equipment, Table 44. A riding horse.
I see their prices. I want to know which one can hold me. And I want to see their speeds.
Page 105, Player's Handbook, Money and Equipment, Chapter 6, is carrying capacities, but then you have to go to the Monstrous Manual to get the speeds, because why would you want to put all the horse information in a single place, right?
No.
That would make it easy to figure things out. And if it was easy, then it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, that'll just be
Carrying
silly.
capacities of animals. Beautiful.
Like, if you don't spend half the session pouring through the books, you must be some kind of casual.
Seriously.
Oh yeah. I don't deal with horses often. My players tend to just walk.
Yeah. Well, walking is a lot less bookkeeping to do. You don't have to worry about
Exactly.
where you left your horse or what you're going to do with it while you're off in the tunnels.
Is it like how much is it to stable a horse?
It's not expensive. I don't think there's a price, but I think it's on the order of copper or silver a day.
None of the horses can carry me and move it in the full ring.
How much do you weigh?
What do I weigh currently? D8. I weigh 273.7 pounds.
Oh my god. You need like
Jesus.
a camel or an elephant to carry you.
I need a heavy horse, and it can move at 2/3.
Yes.
I'm at 180 with 68 in equipment, so 248.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get heavier. Oh yeah, I'll definitely get heavier once I have the field plate.
Well,
I'm just inquiring about the availability of a heavy enough horse that's well trained and quick that can get me. That can move faster than me walking. Does a 2/3 speed horse actually move faster than me walking?
I think horses actually just go half, quarter, and no move. They don't. Their speed doesn't break like
It says 2/3 in the book.
it does. Okay.
Yep.
Shit, because my book says 1/2, so I don't. Are you looking at the DMG or the?
Player's handbook.
Oh. Well,
Neil. I just looked at
I
the
can
book.
show it.
And it says that
properly.
encumbrance is actually an optional rule.
you do say 2/3. Interesting. Encumbrance is an optional rule, but if you
Or use
don't
it.
use it, there is no. Like, you can just carry infinite weight.
Okay,
I agree.
was
It's an
gonna-
optional rule we should use.
Yeah. It's kind of it's a non-optional optional rule.
Okay. I've been thinking about making like a thread that just keeps an updated list of all the rule changes we made for Hardcore Heroes.
Ooh, that would be fantastic.
Which one? I know we changed the living expenses per month, but didn't we do a second one?
I feel like we
And-
did.
Encumbrance was the second one, and we are using some material components when expensive or specifically mentioned in the text of the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might make a thread for that at some point.
Actually, so if you are asking the stable master about horses in particular, he might have some horses have traits that can make them have higher carrying capacities and stuff. But they'll be
Mason, you
more
can-
expensive. And you're
So Mason,
muted,
you-
Croak.
I am?
No, Croak is. I don't know, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you either, Greg. Nope.
Nope. Nope.
No. You muted yourself on your mic itself, like maybe on the.
Okay. Van, what were you saying before the...
Oh.
It might be time for a break anyway, Neil.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
we
you're
fixed-
right. Why don't we go to
Yep.
break and we'll fix the mics and do all that stuff, and when we come back, we will see about some spirited or charging horses and some other stuff. See you guys in a few minutes. Bye-bye.